We're 2 weeks into mastering the guitar in 2026, and I thought I would be making so much progress, but as it turns out, I had to start from the beginning because I didn't really know the fundamentals or foundational elements of playing guitar. I've been playing the guitar for about 7 months seriously, every day practice, trying to get better. I've had times where I've played guitar on and off, but ADHD brain dictates that I could only ever focus on something for, 1-2 months at a time before I got bored and moved on to the next thing, and then I'd return to it again, which left me not really knowing how to play the guitar. Then I got on meds, and that's why I started learning the guitar, and that's why I fell in love with it, because I could stick with it. But as it turns out, when you don't have a structured plan to learn guitar, you kind of learn a bunch of bits and pieces, and you miss out on the main foundational elements of playing guitar, such as, where does your palm go when you pick? This is the first time I've really started learning guitar from a single source in a structured environment, and it has helped drastically in the polishing of my basic skills that you should learn as a guitarist and that you should build upon with them. The technique has exposed a lot of the areas that I'm not great with. Or even like, I'm sloppy at it, really sloppy. I'm working on it, I'm getting better. This exposed that. So I've noticed as I've been learning and practicing the guitar that I've had a lot of success when I've slowed down and tried to focus on one problem at a time. So for example, when doing hammer-ons and pull-off combo, with all my fingers up and down the fretboard, I found out that these two fingers, my ring and my pinky finger, flop around like wet noodles. They're completely useless, super weak. Another thing that this practice has brought out is just how hard it is to play cleanly, hear the notes ring out, and not a lot of fret buzz. This is something that I'm pretty bad at. Just that rattle, hitting the notes correctly, getting my fingers where I want them to be. All stuff that didn't really think about too much when I was just kind of going on my own. Makes a difference though. Over the course of the weeks, I have noticed a distinct improvement in several areas. I am better at picking, keeping my palm pinned against the bridge, stabilized against the bridge. I've been able to actually control where I'm picking, which is great. I do still struggle with like keeping my hand, knowing where to put my hand as you get down to the higher strings. Working on it still, it's getting better though. One of the things I've been thinking about is how to checkpoint my progress throughout the time, and I honestly don't know. I don't know if just playing a pentatonic scale is a good measurement of it, because that's slow. I do think it helps, and maybe that is a good checkpoint. If you have any ideas, let me know. Adjustments that I'm making to the training exercise as I'm doing them, and I notice issues in the playing, things that I'm struggling with that I know I shouldn't be doing. I've started to slow down and isolate those problems one at a time and tackle them instead of focusing on all of them at once. For instance, my flying fingers as you're doing hammer-offs and pull-offs, when you get to like down here, see your fingers naturally are like, let me get away from this toxic fretboard, and they try to pull as far back. You stop yourself, and then you just try to keep your fingers as close to the fretboard as you can as you go, and tackling them one at a time. So instead of worrying about everything that's going wrong, just focusing. And that seems to have helped a lot. So the way that I have been doing the practices, I go days 1 through whatever I'm on in Bernth's Technique Mastery Patreon, and I'll do them until I feel like I've done it enough, or a couple minutes, 3 to 5 minutes depending. I'm ready to cut out a couple of those, a couple of the early first week ones, and maybe even some of the second week ones that I feel like I've particularly mastered as I load more on. Additionally, I think I need to add more to my repertoire and get larger song masteries under my belt, not only to have stuff to play, but because that would help with improvisation. It's just a lick from Enter Sandman, but you play it, already you can look at what you're doing, right? You're playing an E to an E, right? Those are the same notes, just an octave drop. That's cool. Then you're up to the G, D sharp, A sharp, A, back to the E. It makes you feel kind of good, to say the least. I need to work more on transcribing songs as well to help my ear train, which I am not pitch perfect. I suck at ear training. It is what it is, though. As we move on, we're gonna start learning and training on more of the complex techniques. Well, I say more complex, but you know what I mean. Bending, vibrato, trying to get a little bit faster with my picking speed and my fingering speed. Right now, things that I really struggle with, palm muting. Not really something that I practiced, but like when you start palm muting, you realize how I'm not good at it, but I really do love palm muting. It makes it sound so chuggy, and I really like how it sounds. I'm also working on string skipping, which can be a bit of an issue sometimes with you hitting the strings and figuring out where you're trying to go. Working on it, getting a little bit better. Finger strength, once again, always terrible at it. I've also managed to at least slip in 30 minutes of practice every day. I'd love more. That's not how life goes when you have a full-time job and a couple of YouTube channels to run. It is what it is, though. So I hope that you'll continue to join me for the 1 year of guitar progress. I'm excited with the progress that I can already see in myself, and I'm really excited to see where I'm at as time drags on even more than just the first 2 weeks. I hope you'll join me with it. I would also be interested to hear if you're going through a guitar journey and where you're at. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know of any good songs you want to hear, and we'll be back again a little bit later with additional technique changes. We'll probably be at the end of the 30-day technique mastery, so we'll figure out where we're going from there. If you want to see, if you want to be here for the journey, if you want to join me on the journey, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments below. And as always, I'll have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.